Welcome to a special post-March yours truly meditation. Coffee with Dragon, a meditative, philosophical discussion, meditation, contemplation, and analysis of my theories, my philosophy, my universal spiritual teachings and learnings, and current events with yours truly, Adrian Hana Dragon, independent artist, independent athlete, independent activist, philosopher, independent geopolitical analyst and theorist, independent psychosexual theorist, world's greatest living dancing millennial rainbow poet, and androgynous pansexual founder of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, aka international super integrated states, and a universal spiritual teaching student. Not perfect, far from it, with vices, with lusts, with issues, get moody, get upset, suffered, struggled, went through depression, went through being suicidal, have been through hell and back, hit rock bottom, and broke, not poor. My workouts, dancing, philosophies, theories, art chants, marches are gold. Although broke, my work is gold. Although broke, my work is gold. And I'm grateful, thankful, gonna say gratitude, being thankful that my rent is paid for May. My electricity bill is paid in full, rent is paid in full, one third of my phone bill is paid in full. To that trinity of bills, fourth dimension, I got some food, three avocados, bread, salad, and some snacks, and this cup of coffee. So yours truly, Coffee with Dragon, analyzing the situation, current events, geopolitical analysis, and everything under the sun, under the sun on earth, under the stars on earth. 4:46 p.m. We're gonna roll until 6 o'clock when the news is. So we're gonna get the guitar, start kissing, start dancing, start hugging, start loveng. The summary of it all, my willingly loving brothers and sisters of my hit 50 subscribers, 50. Holy Sacred Mystic, noon for the Scorpio in that mystical called Kabbalah, which I'm learning. I'm a student thereof, and I'm a universal spiritual teaching student. Don't know it all with the philosophy that the body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. And so I'm grateful that this underground room, office, and temple in Hawk Island is paid my rent for May. May 18 already, prices going up across the board. Gas prices, several factors such as inflation have observed yesterday and today. It seems that today at my corner gas and other gas stores, by 3 cents at the corner gas store, 3 cents it went down from 215.9 yesterday night, today this morning, 212.9. So 3 cents exactly my corner gas store. Others went down maybe 4 cents, 5 cents. Still record prices for the gas I've seen in February 2020, at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, was averaging 93 cents. So it more than doubled in 2 years, the prices of gas. Of course, the majority of the people is under stress and duress, and it's a question of problems, and solutions. Give you a concrete example. What has been, is, and will be medicine and therapy for yours truly has been working out, training, and exercising. Lost more than 77 pounds. Cannot stress it enough. Especially for the youth, for the youth, for the youth. Encourage them. You see they doing some physical activity, applaud. Encouragement, another thing we can do more. Encourage. We fail so many things. I've failed. I admit, in certain situations, circumstances, areas of this complex, multi-polar, multi-diverse, multi-civilization, local, national, international. Speaking from a North American civilizational collective. That is one of my theory, that North America constitutes a North American civilizational collective. I've written a few pages about it. To give a brief summary of it, basically expounds that North America, with the languages of English and the development of a new way of speaking English, a bit divergent or diverse or separate from, in parallel, the same in writing, but with a different vernacular and curriculum to express psychological, cultural, and even spiritual or practical dimensions in the North American English, Canadian English, United States of American English, and of course myself, I'm a polyglot, speak English, French, some Spanish. I'm learning some Russian now and Ukrainian for world peace, and I've been learning Chinese for world peace, and it's an ongoing process. Anyways, today went on a march. This morning, left 10:31, I think it was about, in the morning. Had breakfast, did laundry, cleaned a bit, did some meditation, and checked my emails. I was checking if I got my first dollar commission via PayPal or donation or a commission. Somebody writing me, "You Dragan, can you come train our ass? Do scream at us, do some push-ups, do some squats, do some hawks, or rap. R.I.P. You don't want me to start rapping a deliciously disgusting diatribe in this unedited raw video. You don't see my videos clicky 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 unless it's paused for I gotta go to the washroom or I'll take out the laundry or do something else. It's a one-time deal of a pause, but unlike, I take pride in this, that my YouTube channel is raw, real, and unedited. Do meditate or contemplate or think of the subject if I have a subject at hand, such as prices of gas, civilizations, conflict, geopolitics, or whatever the topic may be. So check my emails. No commission for work. Independent artist, athlete, activist. I'm proud to have created my own workout training program system, officially called General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragan Army Workout 300 workout short. Created it back in 2019 October. Paradoxically, in a parallel level, has created it and made and designed it to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario. You heard that right. You read that right. Got proof of work. I've concluded more than 244 sessions so far. I'm going to reach the 300 ASAP. Today went on a march. Yesterday went on a march. A meditative, contemplative march. I went to go by the river. So yesterday marched in the evening. Today I did the reverse. Marched in the morning. Sunrise, sunset, sunset, sunrise. Both are red in rising, red in setting. Favorite color. Official color of the Dragan Army, red, calling all willingly living to join, support the mission, vision, and philosophy thereof. Green, 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 the dancing goddess. It's coffee. Don't know the origins, but know that, like all ALL fruits, vegetables, and legumes, these three avocados has no label on it. This avocado, the coffee bean, the black coffee bean, comes from a red berry. This avocado, this bread, the wheat, the coffee bean, the avocado, all the wheat, the avocado, and the coffee bean was made, created, and produced initially by the dance of the goddess with her brother the sun. Goddess, G-O-D-D-S-S, I say it. They gotta balance, harmonize the spiritual forces and elements within the universe. On our own selves, the divine feminine being an important matter for myself for many, many, many years of struggle and toil to reach. And I'm a piece of dust, I'm a piece of dust, I'm a piece of dust. I turned into a priestess of the goddess, G-O-D-D-S-S, Dragan Zero Androgynous, yours truly pansexual. Was a priestess of the goddess in a past life, many past lives. Want to commission a video on that discussion, that topic of dance? Feel free. So I went and marched and bust a dance move with Mother Nature. Whether you want to use the word goddess or just be secular, perhaps I can agree more with atheists on some point of view. pragmatists and those who are secular. You have to meditate, spiritualize, and believe me in my esoteric, occult, spiritual philosophies. I'm learning every day. I don't know it all. I don't claim sainthood or self-righteousness. On my march earlier, I lusted a bit. I said beautiful people for both men and women, since I am pansexual, so being part of the LGBTQ community, I lusted a bit on my march, but I kept on marching. I internalized it. I said, yeah, I would love to kiss, hug this person who's to me is attractive, or this has a nice shape or whatever. I lusted. I admitted guilty. Guilty. Got more passion than most of these politicians who they got more money for a suit and tie, PR, public relations agency for netbots, and hire their little secretaries and to spout slogans, and they're good at that. Leaders of the free world, West Side, Western civilization. Where you at, baby? What are you fighting for? Rich CEOs, corporations. Mr. Trade Buy, Trade Stock, Stock Sell. Who lost $1 million today? Who made $5 million today? Who made 100,000 on the stock market today? Sell short. Futures. Gas. Everybody gotta eat. That I know. Playing tonight. NHL playoffs. My Habs are out. Mr. CEO of Patriarchal Sports Leagues. NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB. Owners of the Patriarchal Sports League, will you support the Dancing Goddess Army, binational, international, counterbalance the Patriarchal Sports Leagues, which make way more economically, financially, and commercially than any existing women's sports league, right? Now, I'm not perfect, far from it, but ain't no way that I would have been a millionaire. And the tough economic times we've just been through in the holidays, and now that would have not financed food security, or for children's toys, or food security, or some other. Food security is primary, because food is primary. Everybody gotta eat. Hey, Rich, making $7 million a year NHL, $20 million a year NBA owners. Tonight they're gonna play. They also gotta eat. When I go to Westmount, marching Westmount, multi-million-dollar houses. Everybody gotta eat, man. That I don't know. Don't know it all. Satellites in a parallel life is my universe. Satellites, micro gadgets, supercomputers, ICBM rockets, everything related to science, innovation, and technology in that parallel life. The parallel self is my chosen path. In this, physicality, spirituality, sexuality, psychology, geopolitics, history, this is my area. In some situations, I am mediocre, average, I admit it. Some situations, some skills and areas of knowledge, I am below mediocre, I suck. But can do a profound deep meditations, see the interlinking between our operating systems of civilization and nature, and what has worked for me, miracle, medicine and therapy, being a direct case of acquired Savant syndrome and neuroplasticity by activity and acquired Savant syndrome, and neuroplasticity by activity, with questions, a lot of questions, a lot of philosophy. Finished, did a more than 4.5 hour march today. I did stop about between 10 and 15 minutes just to admire the river. So let's say 4 hours and 15 minutes marching, because I did stop, and then I stopped to get more water. So let's take 15-20 minutes off. Stop for water, stop for about 10-15 minutes just to see the river. And the beauty of the river in Hawk Island, Montreal, is surrounded by a big river, huge river. St. Lawrence, called Snake River in Hawk Island. So all little fruits, vegetables, and legumes are made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother the sun, such as this avocado. It doesn't have a label on it. It could be from where, don't know. Let's see, does this one have a label? Another avocado. So I got 3 avocados for 6 o'clock news on dinner. Now I'm just gonna drink the coffee. So I'm good. 3 avocados, bread, a little bit of pineapple. What is this? Pineapple. And some snacks here. Some snacks. So I'm good. I'm grateful, thankful. I can read, write some poetry, philosophy, keep on writing my children's books on a project. Writing children's books. So I went on a march and meditated on my philosophies and my dream, because it's a dream. I'm a dreamer. Half of me is a dreamer. What has worked for me is working out, training, exercising. But on my workouts, I don't work out with Dragan, we work out, baby. I can lose a little bit. Let me just flex a little bit. Something. Some brain, some muscle. Reflex a bit now, both. Yeah. Some brain and some muscle. Created my own workout training program, the general or integrated total body training system. I'm challenging my brothers, the patriarchal sports leagues, CEOs, rich CEOs, finance and food security, finance and gas across North America. You don't need another house. You got 7 houses. You got 7 cars. You don't need it. You need another one. Somebody a gas. Trying to find me some gas. You gotta go to work. And I'm not perfect. I lust on my way. Like I said, I saw a few beautiful people. To me, I mean, I don't discriminate. To all my allies and armies, kisses and hugs, feet washes, massages. To all one. What I could use right now is a good massage. Cannot afford it. I'm in the red. The Dragan Army, my vision is to be a service and security force integrated with all existing public and private security institutions. To be of service. Somebody needs XYZ, that's why I meditated on my way. Meditated to be of security and service integrated with all private and public security forces, east, west, north, south, social media, live stream, Facebook groups. Be of service. Track websites to track the activity. Because once I step outside, right now I'm in my underground room office and temple. I'm going to share this in the public. When I step outside, I'm no longer just a private citizen. I'm also a public citizen. So with added duties and responsibilities when I step outside of this underground room office and temple. I stay here, I stay in my room. Because I have roommate, certain common areas, XYZ, other features, other interconnected rules and obligations and duties. Coupled with rights, we have to have a balance, right? I'm not perfect. I get moody. What do? Work out, train, go for a march if I get moody. Right? I get angry. I get upset. I get triggered. Homophobic stuff online. Plenty. When you step outside, I'm just no longer just private citizen. Now I can turn everything off, shut everything off, and go snore, go to bed. Or I can get naked, put Madonna music, or Tekashi 6ix9ine, or Kanye West music, or whatever music, rap, rock, techno music, or classic music, get naked and start dancing naked. 1 hour dancing naked, starting at, I'm gonna do it for 10,000, because that's my debt. It's gonna be my rate. I'm gonna pay off my debt. Got $10,000 in debt, but my rent's paid for May. I'm open for business. Triple vaccinated. Please, 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 when you go in the bank, grocery store, wash the hands with the soap continuously when you go in and out. So notice now a lot of people go in the bank till I touch the machine. I meditated before I touched it to go see how in the red I am. I'm minus 492 in the red. I can go up to 500, so I can have $7 food security protection if I want to buy with $7, because I pay $4 a month for the overdraft protection. It's called overdraft protection. Banks are making record profits. Gas companies are making record profits. We know, the radio says it this morning, yesterday. It's been in our ears for months. Minimum wage went up a bit in Quebec, which is a good thing, let's say, admit it. I mean, it's not to 15, where of course with inflation now it should go more than 15, but I was and now if we could have 15 living wage, minimum wage, but now even more because inflation. Basically, what is inflation? Inflation is losing the purchasing power of the dollar. So basically, if you buy 100 grams with $1, inflation, if it's 7% for a month, you're gonna buy less than with 7%. So you're gonna buy, instead of 100%, 100 grams, you're gonna buy 93 grams. If it's added over 3 months with inflation, you might buy inflation added on another inflation. That's what basically inflation means in the tangible economy. Right? People use more complicated language. It's losing the power of the dollar, the purchasing power. So you buy less, basically. You buy less bread, less eggs, less milk, less coffee for the dollar. That's basically what inflation is. Inflation. Losing the power of the dollar, inflation. Prices going up, you buy less. Right? Prices going up because of inflation, but it's a direct relationship, supply demand. How much, open question now, meditation. Somebody made it this far, 22 minutes, 37 seconds in. How much supply do we have here in Hawk Island, Montreal? If in 2020, February, 93 cents average, 93 cents, February 2020, beginning of the COVID pandemic. Now, May 18th, average in Montreal is $2.10. It more than doubled. 93 times 2 is $1 and 193 times 2 is 186, right? So it'll be an average 186 to be twice. So it's more than twice the price that paid 2 years ago. So that's 200%, more than 200% price go up. I imagine. Purchasing power of the law. So who's gonna affect even more? Who? The majority of the people. The majority of the people, not the ones who have millions, who have 3 mansions, 11 cars, or make bonuses, billionaires, right? The multi-millionaires who make a few million a year, athletes, multi-millionaire athletes in the NHL. We got a few NHL teams, right? And the CEOs, owners of those sports leagues, Montreal Canadiens, Maple Leafs, Canucks. It's a binational. It's not national. NHL is National Hockey League, and NBA is National Basketball Association, but they're not national. They're binational, right? It's the word is not quite. The term national is Canada as a nation, and it is a nation national. The NBA and the NHL are binational, right? They're not national because it's Canadian and the United States. That's what the Dragan Army might call the Dragan Army, to be binational and furthermore international, because these mega sports corporations are international. My brothers, mass finance the youth to work out, train, exercise. My brothers were more well, I call it hard. I know. Money. I know. I know the economic, financial, commercial pressures. I lost money. I fucking lost money. I fucking lost money. I was upset for 48 hours. You know, being LGBTQ and we're doing workforces, different works, different environments. Gossip, gossip, gossip. My brothers and sisters is not the way. Best sometimes to address directly sometimes. I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. When we start rapping a deliciously disgusting diatribe. I rather massage, kiss, dance, workout, train. I have intensity, I have aggression, I have violence in me. Channel, channel, channel. Sublimate, sublimate, sublimate. Keywords in my independent psychological theory. Sublimation and channeling. Working out, training, exercising. I do push-ups, squats, hawks, march. Channel. We try to harm none and find solutions. Freedom. FREDOM. Seven letters to a holy word, just like goddess. I don't have to like that. GODDSS, people, God, God, God. I say God, God, God. I say, and the goddess. People don't like it. People don't like it. People don't like me. Got 50 subscribers. One like. What I keep doing. I like doing. I like thinking, I like meditating. I like massaging. I like physical pleasure. I like a good drink, a good wine, good food. Right? But with all those vices and lusts that I do have, there's no fucking way that I would have been that fucking selfish to see what's going on economically, financially, commercially. Sports, I fucking suck at basketball. Fucking double, triple suck at baseball. I'm okay at hockey, but can't skate, cannot break, so no. Perhaps somewhere where I would have been okay-ish. I made it in the football, playing some good hot tackle, sack, defense or run, some offense or defense, maybe. Or in rap. They don't want me in rap. I'm LGBTQ. I'm gonna be a minority within a minority. They don't want my dragon, rainbow, red, loving, black hair, dragon rap in the rap industry. All of the best lyrics I do write and I do express. Philosopher, but my philosophy, as much as can blah 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 for 13 years, right? It also requires action. At least for me, for my nature, what's required of my nature, is we gotta assess our own natures and our own struggles and our own experiences within ourselves, the exterior, the XYZs, the internet, the radio, the television, nature and civilization. Nature and civilization, nature and civilization. Right? Let's look at the leaders of the free world. Tonight, watch the news at 9:30, 10 o'clock p.m. Like Canadian centric news. I watched a little bit of news from Europe, Britain, and from Germany, just to see a European and perspective. And I also watch from India, and I try to be more diverse. 'Cause sometimes it's not just black and white. Sometimes there's a lot of gray. I gotta discern. I'm a universal revolutionary centrist. What does that mean? To me, what it means is that in my own theories, trinity of theories, holy, second, and divine trinity, citizen integration theory, debt refusion theory, and democratic fusion theory, I believe the North American civilizational collective must implement my theories. I was gonna take a 3-hour video, a lot of cup of coffee to just discuss it in practical terms, the application thereof, with concrete examples. Go a little bit about it. My brothers and sisters, the world has changed. It's not everything that's based on logic, everything that's based on mathematics, on rationality. We have an irrational component of us, which moves us to act. Unfortunately, can go very low. And I've experienced low elements of resentment and self and tendency to go towards, to blame, to go towards externals and which can be poisonous, and parasitic. You gotta let some light in, some light in. Get some air, get some sun. Go for a walk, go for a jog, run a bit. The body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. My theory for the economy is an economy for purpose and pleasure. Purpose, hopefully to upgrade civilization. Satellites working in the ice, it says, to colonize Mars, space, and pleasure to have service areas for massages, for spas, for loving, recreational drug use, XYZ dancing, meditation for the body. My spiritual philosophy, psychological body is not something to be shunned, rejected. It's function. It's holy, sacred, and divine. It's a body we have to give and receive pleasure. Right? To give and receive pleasure. I feel good now. I don't know how I'm gonna feel later. I'm gonna hear the news, bad news again. Well, bad news. I've been to hell, bad. Suffered, struggled. Spent many years, one foot on in the libraries, one foot in the streets in Hawk Island, Montreal. Learned, read tens of thousands of books, written tens of thousands of pages of philosophy, theory, poetry, given now in the compendium. It's part of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom project, and the Phoenix People's Party, the anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, but pro-love party. Be anti, we pro something. Pro LOV, believe in one human race, humanity. It's dreams, but I'm also not a firm of just with the slogans, chanting slogans, you know, because I can go into complex, sophisticated diatribes with verbose language, which more obfuscate, more confuse, more muddle, than clarify or purify or help or bring about solutions. And Spade got food, I'm happy. Got internet connection, I'm happy. I could watch the news, check my email, see if I got $1 via PayPal. If I got somebody commission, hey, can you come dance for an hour? Preach this, or the goddess, G-O-D-D-S-S. You come work us out a little bit, Dragan Zero push-ups, hawk, squat, let's go, can do it. Let's work out, I'll do it with you. You can offer commission. I've been open for business for a few weeks now, nobody knocking, that's okay. It's okay. Who's gonna stop me from marching? Dancing, marching and dancing, and perhaps grabbing on my little androgynous clit scar dick. Wearing a uniform don't make you a warrior, man. Making a uniform, putting on a uniform does not make you a warrior, baby. Putting on a uniform does not make you. For world peace, I am a world peace advocate. If we are to move towards peace, world peace, and ensure and secure freedom, ensure and secure freedom, we have to also be as truthful as an analytic with our own self, with our own natures. And my nature is very complex, very diverse, right? I am part of the LGBTQ community, but that's not all my being. I'm also a philosopher. I'm also an independent fitness captain. I'm also a poet, the world's greatest living dancing millennial poet. So when dancing and poetry together, the world's greatest in terms of the fusion of the dance and poetry there. In certain situations, I don't know. I am average, mediocre, fucking useless, right? It's hard to admit certain things. It's hard to admit. It's hard to admit. Repressing feelings, lusts, hidden fears, right? Inferiority situations, in such a situation. Hidden lusts, hidden fears will not ennoble us, make us this impasse can make us quite sick, make us quite sick, right? Envy, jealousy. I've experienced envy, I've experienced jealousy, I've experienced being resentful, being depressed. It's my battle with depression was a great battle. Being suicidal, repressing, being pansexual, bisexual, being gay, right? Makes me think of somebody who asked her, so what does that mean that you like to suck cock? I said, started laughing. A person asked me, so I said, I'm LGBTQ. And I said, it was a conversation and replied to the conversation, to the question said, well, and this young woman asked me something about something we had a discussion and as she was dating and she said, yeah, I'm dating, I'm seeing somebody. And I said, and she asked if I'm dating, and I said, I'm in an open relationship. I prefer open relationships because I'm part of the LGBTQ community and for us it's different. And she paused and she said, oh. Then she paused, oh, and she said, is that, so that's like what you, does that mean you like to suck cock or some shit? I'm straightforward and direct. So I laughed. I said, I guess sometimes, yeah. You know? Anyways, but of course, her not being LGBTQ, being straight, a straight woman, is perhaps didn't realize. Or I wasn't offended because the tone wasn't bad and we had a good flow. But I mean, I do not advise to ask my fellow LGBTQ community in such a direct manner, like just like that, because we get upset, we get triggered, we're still person. I've lost money, finance, economics, being LGBTQ. Let's face it, right? Opportunities. As people gossip, like in the workplace, you say something and like to gossip. It's juicy. And that was straightforward and direct. To discuss face to face. What's the deal? What's the issue? Investigate, find a solution. There's egos. I'm trying to nullify my ego also. Not egoless. I try to stay in the balance. My universal spiritual teachings is we have three dimensions with the fourth and the fifth. And there's the low, there's the medium, and the higher self. Higher self, medium self, lower self. Try to stay in the middle. But sometimes I'm with a foot in the lower, sometimes in the foot in the higher. Right? Not without lust. Just earlier, I admitted I love beautiful people. But it makes me happy to see other people kiss and hug and make love. After all I say in this raw and edited video, main message is make love tonight, man. 'Cause otherwise, what the fuck are we fighting for? To save this free world for? Somebody's not making love now, kissing, hugging, or tonight. Hugging hard, kissing hard, washing, loving. I love you. What are we fighting for? For rich, multi-millionaires, billionaires, CEOs of corporations. That's why millennial like me putting on that uniform. Huh? Steel toe boots. Hey Justin, Mr. Prime Minister of Canada. Nothing personal. You ever wore steel toe boots, brother? You ever marched in steel toe boots, brother? Have you ever wondered why it's mostly people, millennials or whatever other generation, like me, come from hard, tough economic, financial, commercial backgrounds that join the U.S. Armed Forces, Canadian Armed Forces? Have you ever think about that? Yeah, I know. And was born in the USA twice in past lives. 156 years ago, that way 718 miles. Served in the US Army. As a matter of fact, on my March meditative, the ghost archangel voice of George's Patton whispered as to glass darkly. General George Patton of the Second World War, famous general, were astro related. That's what I said. Commission to hear the continuation of the poem, the whispers of George's Patton, if you will. So this march this morning made me good. Physically, I felt good. Took sunlight in and meditated. Imagined the Dragan Army, officially titled International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, that have been an M&M advocating for by the implementation of my theories to be local, national, international. First and foremost across NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization member countries. Just like envisioned in my scenario. The scenario that I'm referring to is the scenario which goes hand in a parallel timeline with me doing the workouts. The scenario which I began in October 2019, October 17, 2019, was the first session that I've done, performed of the General War Integrated Total Body Training System. General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the 300 workout, aka the Dragon Army workout. All 7 words, known as the Dragon Army workout, the 300 workout, for short. Because it's 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hogs. The rules are simple. You got 93 minutes to do 100. Maximum reps per set allowed is 13, minimum 3. Anywhere in between, doesn't matter the order, whether you do the push-ups, the hogs, the squats, in whatever order you do them, until you get to 100. There's a minimum marching, jogging, running, walking, fast pace, 31 seconds minimum in between each set. So once you start, 93-minute countdown, you gotta march or jog or run or walk fast pace within those rules until you complete it. I average about an hour. Takes me about an hour to complete it within the rules. More than 244 down, challenging the multi-millionaire athletes in the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, Major League Baseball. Try to can do it. If not, you give a third, preferably a half, to the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, the players and the owners, what they did money during COVID. I won't use it for her. Probably gonna buy steel toe boots, a red suit, a bottle of wine, and finance the mission, vision, and philosophy, the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom. That's my dream. That's my dream. For a new world order of world peace, the national justice, secured and ensured global freedom, to that trinity attaining harmony between civilization and nature. So when I was on the march, here in Hawk Island, Montreal, big metropolis, more than 2.5 million people. I did the meditation. The meditation was nature and civilization and the workers. And imagine the Dragon Army to be of service whatever we can. Service and security integrated. Somebody needs help with the cooking, with some cleaning. Of course, so there's no abuse. A person, a citizen, fellow citizen, ally, citizen, subject thereof, does not ask for 3 massages a day or everyday massage. Don't abuse the dragons. Dragons are a spitfire sometimes. Can be mild, caring. No rules. Don't abuse my dragons. Motto of the Dragon Army is nobody is born a dragon. I'm not born a dragon because of a surname Dragan. I grew up pretty much by my SOLO, my sister. Made some friends along the way. Lost some memory. My youth, don't remember much about youth. Don't remember much about my youth. Don't remember much about early adulthood. Past lives remember paradoxically more. Remember more the past years or so. Mostly the past years. Maybe the past 7 years mostly. 9. No, I graduated high school, got a high school diploma. No, I did a lot of volunteering. I got some letters and some work in different areas. And my artist work and organizations and involvement, being upset. Proposals, nothing gets done. Red tape. What has worked for me and what nobody can stop me from doing is working out, training, exercising, marching in the streets and dancing in steel toe boots. Hygiene is important. I get dirty, but I get back clean. Royal, legal, and lofty. Most of these politicians don't have half my passion. P-S. P-A-S-S-I-O-N. 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 Passion. You know how to read from a piece of paper. They're good at that. Hey, Mr. NATO Secretary General. Brother. So you're reading nothing personal. Could you try not to? Just say from the heart. No, deals in Finland and Sweden apply to join NATO. Bravo. I've been calling for Israel, and I'm calling for NATO. And all private and public security forces in NATO calling Israel as the Project 34, Genesis Code 31, Israel to also join NATO. Israel. Have been for months now. My scenario back in 2019, and it's ongoing, was a World War III scenario. Paradoxically, created as a world peace advocate. But not just as a world peace advocate. As an independent geopolitical analyst and theorist and thinker who has experienced the blood, sweat, and tears to raise that sword of freedom. And even now, my tiny hands, tiny feet, tiny little androgynous scar-split dick, I cannot lift it by my solo. A sword of freedom. Freedom is a dangerous thing. F-R-E-D-O-M, man. Freedom for who? Saving West Side, Western civilization for? Who are you fighting to save for? Mr. Oligarch? Mr. CEO, multi-millionaire athletes, multi-millionaire actors. Hey! Multi-millionaire rapper. Y'all made your money good, no? That's what you're fighting for, save for. Western civilization. Rich getting richer, poor getting poorer, man. They want me. Take orders from Dragan. They call somebody who never been in a street fight. Call him my commander-in-chief. Oh, yeah. Commander-in-chief who never been in a street fight, never wore steel-toe boots. Y'all must be disco. And I'm not talking about boogie boogie. Y'all must be fucking disconnected. If you think a Dragon Zero is gonna call somebody who's never been in a street fight and never wore steel-toe boots, commander-in-chief of an army, y'all disco. I'm not talking about boogie boogie. Disco fucking connected. Dragon Zero. I don't know. Hey, commander-in-chief. Somebody who never been in a street fight. Never wore steel-toe boots. I'm calling for peace now. Immediate ceasefire. Also got a peace with our channel the aggressions. Channel my brothers and sisters. Channel the aggressions. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. We got subconscious irrational forces. We got frustrations. We got the economic, financial, commercial pressures are so great. And I've experienced it firsthand. Temptations. Temptations. I lost money being LGBTQ. People gossip. You lose. Don't give you second warning. Temp agencies, right? You get gig works. They don't give you a warning. You come late one day and they don't give you a warning. They lay you off, or they lay you off without giving you reasons. No warning. Everybody deserves second and third chances, even fourth chances. Give them a warning of work. Say, hey, would you please, gossip. Gossip, why you said this to me. Give us to address the parties together rather than gossip. Not gonna ennoble, is gonna find solutions. I am useless in certain things. I admit it. Mediocre in others. I am great at others. I'm good at others. I created the best workout that requires no equipment and that's perfect for COVID times. My scenario, World War III scenario, was based on analysis as a geopolitical analyst of what had transpired up to that moment in time, October 2019, and analyzing my own self, my own analysis of culture, of geopolitics, events of an economic, commercial, financial, geopolitical alliances and pact which had transpired, namely the US-China trade war was a major factor in my developing my World War III scenario, the Islamic State terrorism ongoing, the arrest of Meng Wanzhou, and consequently the arrest of the two Michaels, deterioration of relations, Sino-Canadian relations, Sino-American, Sino-North American, Sino-Western relations, other geopolitical factors. And back in 2019, October, I said, hey, humanity, we're again on a path towards another international conflagration, another world war. Because we learned there's factors of human nature. And I have experience, and I still have some of the lower aspects of self inside of my own self. I do. It's hard to admit these things. They're not open in the open, like hidden lusts. Look how long it took to have one LGBTQ player in the 4 patriarchal sports leagues. Just last year, Kal Nassib is perhaps the freest, bravest motherfucker on the motherfucking field, motherfuckers. "70 years. Even predates NFL. I'm talking about modern NFL, modern sports leagues, NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB. Let's say after the Second World War. They predate, but in the modern sense, in a more modern. For example, 56 Super Bowls. So Vince Lombardi Trophy after this in the 60s, right? I believe 66 was it? 66, right? 66, 67 was the first Super Bowl. Check, fact check, fact check. It took so many years to have one to come out as being LGBTQ, being gay. It was also before him. Kal Nassib, Michael Sam paved the way in many ways, and he paid the fucking cost. Michael Sam. Not to mention, beautiful Michael Sam, great athlete and beautiful as he is, he was also dating interracially, which is not commonly accepted, right? I accept it, I love it. Perhaps I even encourage it. I support it, I love it. Right? Subconscious forces within us, within myself. There's subconscious prejudices, subconscious psychological biases that are subconscious, that are not easily to discover, to detect, and then take action, so that we have more harmony, equilibrium, and balance. But also that requires action as well, right? Because theorizing, and 10 books are good, but 10 books balanced by 10 push-ups or 10 hugs or 10 massage hours of massage or washing or cleaning. Right? So many years it took, and like I said, Michael Sam paid the cost because he lost economic, financial, commercial due to having come out, and then he didn't play. I don't let him play. I don't let him play, man. I lost economic, financial, commercial. Lost employment because of gossip, because of this. I was put to the resentment to do what? If you guys, somebody has personal issues with me, Adrian Hunter Dragan fights their own battles. We can dance battle, we can rap battle, we can put on gloves, or we can duel. No problem. Put on gloves, box a few rounds, or tap out. Or I tap out. No problem. I fight my own battles. I don't need, I'm not a fucking dictator. Our leaders of the free world, they got their bureaucracy there, their nice systems, you know. Reading from a piece of paper somebody else wrote, huh, Mr. Trudeau? None against you, personal brother. I got some love for you. I'm a centrist with my own theories for the 21st century, theories of reform for a global federation, for a bringing unions in the 21st century, because it also requires action. So the Dragan Army and the Global Dragon Union to be on the ground. Yeah, action and integrated radio, television, with the Facebook, social media. That website will record it in public, in private, the work. So what if we're free? If we ensure freedom with security, and we ensure and secure and ensure freedom and liberty, food, security, have for the citizens, encourage people to volunteer, work out, train, exercise, and hopefully not just maintain but upgrade civilization, to balance the corporate orders by my theories, right? Securing food, housing, and transport, and mass finance people to work out, train, exercise, people to massage, people to clean, to wash, to go work out, train, exercise, have volunteering, rotating, and citizen integration theory applied, people to go see how other factors of civilization are work, construction works, how railway works, right? How food is being prepared, made, farms. Bless you, farmers. All fruits, vegetables, and legumes are made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother the sun. You don't have to say goddess, Mother Nature, the black, fertile earth with the water, and the sun rays and the rays fertilizing, and the nutrients, mysterious rays of the sun with the heat and the life penetrating the black fertile earth and making it go for the rain and the nutrients. And then the farmers kiss their hands, wash their feet, give them a hug, leaders of the free world. And I'll do it with you. Parliament, Canada, that's what I would tell Parliament. Let's go. Give the farmers a hug, give the farmers a massage. Go on the trucks with Canadian Army, police, left and right, forget it. I spank you on the rights. Those on the right, I spank with my right hand in the Parliament. Those on the left, and the Congress as well. Dragan spanks, Parliament and Congress. On my universal revolutionary centrist ties, those on the conservative with the right side, right hand, and those on the left with the left. Like this I support Dragan spanks, Parliament and Congress. North American Civilizational Collective. I went on a march, meditated, lusted a bit, so that I saw construction workers. I was meditating on their equipment, where it was from, much weights, how much money they make, XYZ. I saw the price of gas. Then I passed by the commercial. What are people buying from the big stores? Not gonna name names. Big stores and the small stores, and the gas prices. And I went to the park, so the workers of the city, so the Dragan Army integrated, we're giving them a hug. Anybody need a service, 1-800 number, text, be integrated on the ground, east, west, north, south, to see, be some help, some support, to clock in, to be, also to take it into account. New institutions, complementary covenant and cooperative institutions, international citizen integrated social security and service force, international citizen integrated social security and service force, aka the Dragan Army, with the International Integrated Dance League, aka the Dancing Goddess Army. To dance, recreation for body, for pleasure, and for the environment, Mother Nature, and dance as a sport to balance the patriarchal sports leagues. What they give? What did they give? What? Hugs to my willingly loving allies and armies, thy servant. Massage, hug, washing feet, kisses got. From the goddess credited me with the condition to give to all my willingly loving allies and armies, kisses. Credited 718 trillions of kisses. Start kissing, start loving, make love tonight. What are you fighting for to save Western civilization for? Rich CEOs who made $1 million today at the stock market. Financiers. And I start naming names. Are you fighting to save civilization, Western world for? Somebody's not making love tonight. Kissing, hugging, loving, Xing, Ying, Zing. For the playoffs, I can get a bonus of $5 million in a quarter. I can buy, sell, short, futures. So on a march south, went to the river. So the big metal poles, Hydro-Quebec. I wondered how many tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands perhaps, since Hydro-Quebec exists in the current form, maybe even millions worked at one point. Since current form since 1963, the current bureaucratic, public, legal structures since 1963. So Hydro-Quebec since 1963 has about the current, but it predates that. So there are 61 dams, 61 dams across the province of Quebec. All electricity that I'm using now, clean, renewable energy. So sort of big, like 31 feet, maybe 25 feet or 30 feet, maybe even 35, 30, maybe not 35, but close to 30 feet, around 30 feet, maybe 25 or 30, or in between 20 and 30 feet high, big. Some are big ones where I went. There were big ones in the line. These transport the electricity from the dams. The process, I meditated on that. Who put that there? Workers. Imagine labor, brains and muscle, brains and muscle, brains and muscle. Somebody working with the brains, with the theory, how to transport that with the electricity and the intellectual, philosophical theory. Like myself, I've written tens of thousands of pages of theory about the Dragan army and citizen integration theory, debt fusion theory, democratic fusion theory, come up with a Phoenix People's Party for establishing this concordium of a world peace, where this new world order, local, national, international. I gotta act local. I'm a Montrealer, I'm a Quebecer, I'm a North American, LGBTQ world global citizen, right? I'm a citizen of the world. I gotta act local, think global. I don't think about going back and nationalism and states. You can have something move in the 21st century. You don't have to go back. I know there's problems and resentments and XYZs. Extremes will not, well, extreme right, mostly embodied by fascism. That's not the way. Extreme left, mostly embodied by communism. It gave authoritarianism. That was the way. Also solution. I believe part of it is my universal revolutionary centrist for the 21st century. Formed with the unions, labor unions, yes, but I've been stuck for a lot. Not all, don't like to generalize. I've been stuck in a lot of theory. I've also been stuck in theory and philosophy. It requires action. Working out, training, exercising. Encourage people to work out, train, exercise. Has been, is, and will be medicine and therapy for me. Feelings, emotional, repress, channel, sublimate. We have how we can have world peace, but we need to take into consideration factors that we gotta find outlets for the psychological forces of aggression to be channeled. Like to volunteer, feel part of something. A lot of millennials, disconnected, despair, millions, increasing in suicide rates, skyrocket mental health. Working out, training, exercising does wonders for the mind, body, and spirit. Body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. Body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. Gonna get some more coffee. Dragan army of security and service, integrated with existing all private and public security forces, security institutions, local, national, international. Speaking about NATO, those North Atlantic Treaty Organization member states centric, but I'm a Pan-American, I'm a universal, I believe in international order, global. I don't believe in going back to ultra-nationalism and nationalism, no. I am a citizen of the world, global citizen, but I gotta act local. I think global in terms of nature. Here in Quebec, I said I meditated on the big, huge poles that hold the lines, electricity lines. There were many in a row, 2 rows parallel. So I wondered, I meditated. When were they put there? Maybe in the 90s, maybe 10 years ago, maybe in 2009, maybe in 2010, February, maybe just 7 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. They looked newish, maybe they were painted. True that knowledge exists somewhere within the files of Hydro-Quebec, within the files of the files of files. Somebody knows, somebody doesn't know, perhaps it's in a file somewhere on a shelf. Like this video, I don't know what's going to happen in a week. Somebody's going to say we're going to have 2 views maybe in a week, this video. Maybe it's going to have 3 views in 3 days. Maybe in 3 weeks it's going to have a 4th view. 4th view. Oh, I documented my philosophy, my passion. The video is not that great. That trickle with it, the laptop that I have, it's still not a good quality of the video, but aesthetics aside and superficial things aside, it's more about the philosophy, the dialogue, the lecture, the discourse, the meditation, the philosophy that's more important. Maybe my voice than my face. I ain't too pretty anyway. I don't want to look at too much. I wear a mask anyways. Hard to admit a lot of things. So doing this meditation on the hydro. Now this is renewable, clean, renewable energy that I'm using. I'm going to plug it in. It's clean, renewable energy. All the energy used in the computers, in the heating, in the... Now we use in Montreal, Hawk Island, Big Island, Metropolis, and in Quebec for that matter. We also sell to about 5 or 6 states, even to the US. Clean, renewable, zero pollution, zero pollution, zero pollution. In Quebec about that, they can't tell us nothing, man. Thank you, farmers of Quebec, Canada, US, North America, dairy, brother, for this food. Avocados we don't grow here. Most likely they're from Mexico. But all these fruits, vegetables, and legumes were made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother the sun, initially from the black fertile earth, with the water, the rain, and the golden sunlight, sun rays, golden sunlight. The sun now rises and now sets somewhere in the world. 5:55 p.m. 2 hours and 8 minutes till sunset here in Montreal. There's still a lot of sun, right? Still a lot of sun shedding on a macro scale across all the American continent, from Canada, United States, Mexico, down to Guatemala, down to Panama, El Salvador, Honduras, Costa Rica, or to Colombia, Venezuela, Peru, Bolivia, Uruguay, Paraguay, Chile, Brazil, Cuba, all the islands. Now, it's 5:55 p.m. EST. On the west coast, that way. On the west coast, that way is, let's go to Vancouver, British Columbia, right? Let's go to California, LA. Let's go to Seattle. My brother, Scorpio, Bill Gates, coming in my underground room office and temple. Let me drill you with some few questions, along with Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Sheryl Sandberg. In a parallel life, I'm a hybrid of Bill Gates, Sheryl Sandberg, and Elon Musk. In a parallel life. In this life, well, Dragan, philosopher, theorist, poet, artist, athlete, activist, world peace advocate, and student scholar of history, geopolitics, geopolitical analyst, geopolitical theorist, philosopher. Universal spiritual teaching student. So back to the meditation. The sun now, it's 5:56 p.m. It means that we subtract 3 hours on the west coast. Time zones. Meaning it's close to 3 o'clock. It's 2:56 p.m. So I still have more hours. I go that way, we take minus. That way minus hours on the west, the east, that way plus hours. So we go east, we're going to go to the Atlantic, that's the Pacific, that's the Atlantic. Atlantic is that way, Pacific is that way, right? That's the west coast, that's the east coast. East coast is that way, east coast is that way, west coast is that way. From my side, that's the west for me, that's the east for me, from my point of view. And I'm looking at the south. I'm looking, my brothers and sisters, south of Quebec, south of Hawk Island, Montreal, where I went marching south. Then crossing the border, New York State, Maine State, right, New Hampshire, going all the way from New York, going to Boston, going down the East Coast, and going down the south, going down all the way to Florida, and then Mexico, and then the islands, Cuba, parallel, Haiti, Dominican Republic, right, Barbados, and all the islands, and going down all the way south. Now is east. But east, it's minus, it's plus. So they're already an hour plus on the Maritimes. What's called the Maritimes here in Canada. Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, Canadian Maritime provinces. We got 10 provinces and 3 territories, right? In Canada, we got the Northwestern Territory, Yukon Territory, and Nunavut Territory, and we got the provinces on the I think Labrador, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Quebec, Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta and British Columbia. 10 and 3. 10 provinces and 3 territories. 13 total. 10 provinces and 3 territories in Canada. Because we're a confederation, as opposed to a federation and a federate. So they got states. 50 states. Right? Regardless, what makes the fruits, vegetables, and legumes, all of the fruits, the vegetables, and legumes, from its avocados, perhaps Mexico most likely, or Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico. Could be even in Southern California, avocados, right? Most likely Mexico, avocados, most likely. Usually it has a little label on it, but then they fell off the label or it's not there anymore. But anyways. We're gonna I'm gonna keep on going. I'm gonna listen to the news afterwards. I was gonna stop for the 6 o'clock news, but let's put the news on. Let's see the news. Let's see.
Marissa Man, Brian Callisar back at the shop, and thanks to you for being here as well. That is much appreciated. We will catch you back here tomorrow, anytime after 2 o'clock. If it's good for you, it's good for us. Until then, be good to each other, take care of yourself, and all those folks around you, especially the little guys. They are the most important people in your life. Have a great night, everybody.
We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Traffic Center. We still have slowdowns westbound Matlock Ward Air to San Laurent between Rockland and DeCary. For the eastbound side of the TCAT, you're losing some time. Sunnybrook to the 13, Cavendish at the Papillon on eastbound Met. More volume eastbound Met via to Anjou. Southbound 25, still pretty tough Anjou into the tunnel. On the westbound side of the 20, you're losing time. Still Turcotte back to Norman. On the eastbound side of the 20, delays from 55th back to 1st Avenue. And Renault Depot 5-inch pressure-treated lumber is at 82 cents per linear foot. The best price of the past year. All details on Nature.Got. I'm Lauren Gleiser from the CJ 8800 Traffic Center.
This is CJAD 800.
Prices for everything.
It's harder, yes. But what do you want? That's life now.
Inflation is at a 31-year high, and it's not over yet. They're doing it for Jessica.
Losing a child is the worst thing that could happen to a parent.
So in her name, they're trying to change impaired driving laws in Quebec and trying to save the deer.
But there's been an absolute refusal to engage in a conversation.
Animal rights activists say they have no choice but go to court.
CTV News with Mitsumi Takahashi.
Good evening. After the sticker shock at the pumps, it's now sticker shock at the grocers. The prices for everything from meat to fruits to pasta, they're all up. The inflation rate last month was 6.8%, the highest it's been in 31 years. Caroline, it's mainly because of the rising cost of food.
It is, Mitsumi. You know, we've been hearing so much about the rising cost of gas, but rising food prices have largely driven this increase. In fact, food prices alone posted their biggest increase since 1981, up an average of 8.8% since then. Take a look at, or since a year ago, take a look at these individual food price increases to your grocery cart. Pasta is up 19%, bread up over 12%, meat is up over 10% over last year, fruit is up over 10%, or 10%, vegetables gained over 8%, and rice is up over 7% in a year. Now, gas prices have shot up 36.3% over last year, but they actually increased at a slower pace in April compared with March, when they were up 39.8% over last year. And the cost of shelter, such as heating a home, home has also increased by over 7% as natural gas and fuel oils have gained substantially. Now, the Russian invasion of Ukraine is, of course, continuing to affect both energy and food prices, with fertilizer and natural gas costing more. But the poor weather in some growing regions has also impacted food prices. So this is what some people we spoke with today have to say about the increased cost of their groceries.
It is more expensive, for sure, but I think you can still make do if you have enough time to, run after the specials and whatnot. I think it's still manageable. But with the state of the world today, it was to be expected, I guess. But it's harder for the people who are on limited income, that's for sure.
I find it very hard. I have to compensate with organization that gives us food or that I'm allowed to go to for eating or stuff like that. Other than that, I'm waiting for a miracle because 6%, 7%, it feels like 20 on this floor.
Unfortunately, that miracle is nowhere in sight. The Bank of Canada's chief economist, Douglas Porter, wrote in a brief report, that the takeaway from April's Consumer Price Index release is that inflation is spreading much more broadly and at a clear risk of getting firmly entrenched. He also wrote that barring a deep dive in oil prices in coming weeks or months, we expect the worst is yet to come, and that inflation north of 6% will still be with us by the end of the year. Mitsumi, the Bank of Canada raised its key interest target rate by 0.5 percentage point last month and has warned more interest rate hikes are coming as it tries to bring down inflation. It's due to make another rate announcement on June the 1st.
Thanks very much, Caroline. Seniors at an assisted living residence downtown are facing a fast approaching deadline. Their building has changed hands, and it's possible they will have to move out in the fall. But now Quebec Solidaire has introduced a bill that would protect seniors from evictions. Stéphane Giroux has the story.
Tenants at the Mont Carmel residence were in for a shock this winter when they learned the building had been sold. Some tenants can stay if they want, but the building will no longer offer services such as round-the-clock nursing assistance, explains 83-year-old tenant Constance Vaudrin.
Obviously, there would be no services, there would be no room, no place to meet with the residents. It would be just a simple apartment block.
It's all perfectly legal, but Quebec Solidaire introduced a bill at the National Assembly that would considerably improve protection for elderly tenants. If passed into law, seniors over 65 who have lived in the same apartment for more than 5 years could not be forced out of it.
The housing crisis has gotten worse, so we need to modernize that law. We need to make sure that law really protects seniors today.
The current law only protects seniors 70 and older who have lived in the same unit for 10 years, says Françoise David, who sponsored the original bill 6 years ago.
It's more and more difficult for everybody, but especially for seniors, to be sure they will stay in their apartment.
Constance Varin and housing activists say tenant laws should be extended even further.
And that would be to change the law regarding the transformation of a place like this one into a simple apartment building, that this would be forbidden.
Housing Minister Henri Laforêt could not be reached for comment in time for this newscast. But with the election coming quickly this fall, the legislative window to adopt a new law is getting extremely short. Stéphane Giroux, CTV News.
Animal rights activists are trying to stop a deer cull in Longueuil. They've decided to go to court to do it because they say the city won't talk to them. Ilan Kassam reports.
Animal rights activists are calling Longueuil's plan to slaughter dozens of deer unnecessary and cruel.
There is no question there's going to be great cruelty caused, and this in the middle of a park, where families are walking by, are enjoying the park and having picnics.
Anne France Goldwater is representing Sauvetage Animal Rescue, who's leading a case to stop the city of Longueuil from killing roughly 60 of the 70 deer in Michel Chartrand Park. Instead, the animal rights group would like to provide the deer with long-term care.
Simplest way to explain the plan is to capture the deer, sterilize them, after put it in a trailer, and free them in a private sanctuary or free on the proper land.
But this plan also poses health risks to the deer that are showing the ill effects of overpopulation. The park's vegetation is insufficient to sustain the herd, and many deer are showing signs of malnourishment and ticks that spread Lyme disease. The deer have also been straying into the nearby streets, increasing the risk of collision with cars.
So right now, I view it as the health of people and their children, their dogs, their animals that walk with them in the park is endangered because the municipality is not engaging in the proper maintenance of this herd of animals in the park.
Last year, Longueuil released a report by a committee of residents, environmental groups, university organizations, and government experts that analyzed the best way to sustain the park's ecosystem. The report recommended euthanizing most of the deer and donating the meat to
hardcore economic, financial, commercial news. Highest inflation in 31 years. Highest food price increase in more than 42 years. Wow. Solutions. Have some in parallel with others. The application of my trinity of theories complemented by other creative ideas, technological, of an innovation, nature, scientific nature, in parallel. My meditation marching meditation 1 and 4 hours and a half. I'll subtract 15 minutes, let's say more than 4 hours. I pause for like 10-15 minutes at the river. See the raging river, what's called here in the south of the island, in South LaSalle and LaSalle Rapids. Meditated on nature, was happy, joyful. Saw a hawk. Saw the hawk above. Am I going? Of course, when I went, sun was below a bit average temperatures. We went from, yesterday was 13, and over the weekend we had 3 days of 31. So 31, we had the reverse. 31, 31, then we have 1, 3, 13. So it switched. I went, now it's 17 about, so it's about what it should be average, not 31. That was heat wave. We broke temperature records in Hawkeye, Montreal 3 days in a row. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That passed just now, early May. Saw a beautiful red cardinal, and you hear the birds chirping, singing. Nature and civilization, flora and fauna, big, huge, majestic. Green trees with the sunlight, the meditation. About my own theories, and, for example, about the big poles of Hydro-Quebec, the company. It's electricity in Quebec, zero emission, zero pollution electricity. On the Dragan Army and citizen integration theory, to go see those dams with the citizens. 61 dams with Hydro-Quebec. To go see them, work, build the brains and muscle, tens of thousands. Hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of workers who work for Hydro-Quebec. 61. Zero pollution, zero emission of CO2. All natural. Veins of the goddess, Mother Nature, the rivers, using the currents. The rain somebody developed. The engines, mechanism. Powers the dam with the cement. Brains and muscle. Requires both. Theory into practice, theory in practice. Myself, my theory into practice. I know what works as medicine and therapy for me whenever I feel moody, angry, upset. workout, train, exercise, or go for a march and meditate and be grateful, thankful. I am. Sure, I wish, I hope, I crave, I will, for a good massage therapy, one of those professional, like the multimillionaire brothers, Tom Brady give Dragan a massage. Tom Brady come give Dragan a massage. Your millionaire can fly. Already got your money, got paid. Gonna rate you on a 1 to 10. Tom Brady. Brady massages Dragan. Yeah, get in there, you multi-millionaire. God damn it. You throw a ball, goddamn Buccaneers, Patriots. Hot. Drill your ass. Push-ups, down, squats. Hit them hard. They don't gotta pay for it. The team provides. They got 8 teams. Who's on Team Dragan? What can I give you? What can I offer? Working out, training, exercising, massages. Learn myself massage therapy during COVID. I said if I crave massage and there's others who might crave it as well, and it's best not to pay it. And security and service and all massaging, loving, kissing, all cleaning, all doing with consent and hygiene. Mutual love and understanding. With consent and hygiene, mutual love and understanding. With consent and hygiene, mutual love and understanding. All services on the table. And on the smartphones and on the social media, Facebook, east, west, north, south. Integrated. Citizen integration theory. Meditated on the application of my theories. Debt refusion theory. Taking all private and public debt, refusing it, creating a new binational, international, and global currency, the UE. Taking all private and public. My private debt is 9,996. $4 short of being 10,000. They round it up. I got $10,000 in debt. I'm in the red. I got food. My rent's paid. The electricity bill is paid. Phone bill is paid. All right. Democratic fusion theory. The new institutions. Complementary, covenant, and cooperative institutions. The Dragan Army officially. The International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragan Army, with the Dancing Goddess Army, officially titled International Integrated Dance League, aka the Dancing Goddess Army. Complementary to each other. Pleasure and purpose, a new economy of pleasure and purpose. Turn work into play is not always easy. I'm philosophical about it sometimes. Not always easy, but if we can transcend for the 21st century, at least here locally in the North American civilizational collective, with art, creativity, and loving, make love tonight. That is the main message that yours truly has. That is the main message. Make love tonight because life is short. Going on that meditation, on that march, meditating. Subway systems, the bus drivers, the farmers, the food, those preparing food. A march was for you, for the workers, farmers, doctors, nurses, bus drivers, workers at Hydro-Quebec in the electricity, farmers, grocery store clerks, those in the food industry, making a sandwich, preparing, doing X, Y, Z. This march and this is dedicated to all my willingly loving allies and arms. Special coffee with yours truly, Dragan. Make love tonight. Show you how, at least a little bit. I'm learning the art of love from what God is, G-O-D-D-S says.